Yes. So by the last lecture, we have seen how to create the fields inside the objects using the standard navigation. So we have created these many fields inside the hiring manager. Now we have two more objects like candidate and the position. Position object I haven't created it yet, but the help of schema builder, I'll be creating this object along with the fields. So now let's start with the candidate object. So we could see that, we have created one of the object called as candidate. Candidate object also doesn't have any fields apart from this name where I could enter the records, right? So I'm not, guys, am I not audible? Come on, am I not audible? Because, okay, Kushali is saying that I am not audible. Yeah, Kushali, if tell me whether I am audible or not. Kiran, Sohail, is okay. Sohail already have responded. Yeah, maybe it's something wrong with the Kushali's network then. Yeah. So last lecture we created this few of the fields inside this hiring manager. Now let's create the fields inside the candidate object. So we are following one of the documents. Yesterday I uploaded this document in your drive also. Probably you have seen this. So now we have another object called as candidate, and we require the candidate object should have all these fields. So let's do it one by one. Again, with the help of a standard navigation, let's do the same thing. I mean, what we have seen yesterday, we have the navigation, what we have seen yesterday to create the field. I'm going to revise the same navigation. And when I start, after completing this, once the candidate has been over, when we move on to the position object, we will do things like, we will first of all create this position with the schema builder. And moreover, we are going to create all these fields, all these fields we are going to create inside the position object, but that to be with the schema builder. Okay. चलो अभी तो जो plan पर है उस plan पे stuck रहते हैं, and what we are following is that let's create few more field inside the candidate object again with the standard navigation. Okay. So the field I wanted to create first is contact number. Contact number, and the data type of this field is phone. Moreover, this is a mandatory field. Okay. So let's go to the candidate object and expand the force.quick access menu. Here you have, view fields, but in front of view fields, you have something called as new field. Click on this new field. We are about to create a field called as contact number, right? And it's a phone data type field. So out of this all data types, let me select the phone. This is the phone. And select the phone, click the next button. Give the label as to be the contact number. If you wanted to give any description or rather help text, you could do that. Make the field as to be a required field because it is something what has been mentioned in the document. Is this a field mandatory field? Yes, it's a mandatory field. Okay. So I make the field as to be the required field. I make field as to be the mandatory field. And then click the next button and save it. So we created one of the field, we created one of the field over here. Just a second, guys. Just give me 5 minutes more. I'll be start. Right now I'm pausing the recording, but I'll be starting in the 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes more. So we created one more field, and it's a mandatory field. Let me refresh this user interface so that we could see the contact number. See, it's a mandatory. Now, let's create one more field. So in the custom fields and relationship section, just click this new button. Now you need to select the data type of the fields what you are creating. So we are now creating a field called as current Sfdc. And the data type is currency. Okay, the data type is currency. So from this list of all data types, let me just select the data type as to be the currency. I'm selecting this currency. And then click the next button. Give the label of this field. Give the label of this field, current Sfdc. Length, I think having a length of 10 is sufficient, more than enough. And let me check whether the field is required or not. No, it's not required field. So I'm not clicking this. I am not clicking this because it is not a mandatory field. check with everything. Decimal places I don't want to open here. Just click the next button. Make it visible. See, the fields you make mandatory. जितने भी fields आप mandatory बनाते हो ना, for that it is already checked. By default it is checked. But the fields which are not mandatory, you additionally have to check it for every profile user. Make it visible, and then click the next button, and then save. So one more field I have created. See, inside the custom relationship section, we have. If I wanted to see this on the user interface, just I am required to refresh this, and this field is also created. So let me go and click create another field. The next field is expected CTC. Let's copy this over here. Expected CTC is also a type of currency field. So let me once again select the currency. Click the next button. Give the label as to be the expected CTC length. I just wanted 10. No decimal places, and it is I think a required field. Yes, this one is a required field. So let me click this checkbox. Click the next button. Because see, now it's a required field, there is no concept of making exceptionally visible. Every required field is by default visible to every profile user. Click the next, click the save, and one more field is created. Expected CTC. If I, you see, one more field is created. So let's do, that. मैं एक ही बार में सारी fields create कर लेता हूँ, बाद में user interface करता हूँ. So I'm about to click. I'm about to create a new field, email ID of the type email, and it is a mandatory field. So let me go up to here, click the new button, select the field data type as to be the email, click the next button, give the label email, it's a required field, and click the next button, click the next. Here now I am saving and new because I am about to create few more fields. So I save नहीं कर रहा हूँ, save and new कर रहा हूँ. So I will be routed back to the database. See, this is the benefit what you get. So after email, I require to create the location. Location is a pick list. Okay. So pick list. Here is the pick list. Click the next button. Give the value as to be the location. I wanted to enter my own values. These are the values. Because the values are same between hiring manager and the position and the candidate. So I'm just copying it here. You wanted to make it required. Let me just check it out. Whether the location is a required field. No, it's not a required field. So let me click this next button and make it visible for every profile user. Click the next button. Save and new. Okay. So another field after location is like notice period. The notice period is again a pick list. So let me select the pick list from here. Click the next button. If the name has to be the notice period, here I wanted to enter the values by my own. The values are like immediate. Let me just copy and paste it over here. And press the enter to come to the next line. The next is 7 days. Click the enter to come to the next line. 15 days. Copy and paste it over here. Then press the enter. And then the next value is 1 month. The next is like 2 months. Next is 2 months. And the next is 3 months. Yeah. And I don't want to display it alphabetically. I mean, the order which I have entered it, I just wanted it to be displayed like this. We wanted the first value as to be the default. No, I don't want. Make it required. Let me check it out. But that's a required. Nothing has been mentioned, so probably it's not required. So I don't make it required. Let me go ahead and click the next button. Make it visible. Visible. Click the next button. And then save and new. Let's create one more field. So after notice period, it's like PAN number. PAN number is a text field of the length 10. Moreover, it's mandatory and unique also. I mean, it will not allow the duplicate entries. Like, so let me select the text from here. Click the next button. Name of the field is PAN number. The length is 10. PAN number usually in India is always of 10 digits. So I'm making it required and I'm making it unique. So unique matlab do not allow the duplications. Now inside a duplication, there are two different possibilities. The capital letters and the small letters. If you wanted to treat these both things as same, I mean the capital ABC is as good as small ABC. This is something called as case insensitive. You can go with the first option. But if you wanted to treat capital ABC and small ABC as the two different sort of statement, this is something called as case sensitive. If you wanted to make it case sensitive, go with this option. But inside the PAN number, you probably know, if I enter the capital letter or small letters, it's really one and same thing. So I wanted to make it case insensitive, and that is why I'm selecting the first option. So I'm making it required. Moreover, I'm making it unique so that no one could enter the duplicate values over here. Then click the next button and save and new. Okay. The next is passport number. Passport number is again a text, and although it is not mandatory, but it's a unique field. So let me do that. So from this list, let me once again select the text field I'm creating. The next is the passport number. The length is 10 digit. It's not required, but it's unique. Okay. Let me click the next button and then make it visible for every profile user because it's not a mandatory field. Click the next button and then save and what is the next field? After passport number, it's like qualification. Qualification is again a pick list. So from here, let me select the field data type as to be the pick list. Then click the next button. If the name as the qualification, I don't want it to use the global pick list. Rather, I wanted to enter the value from myself. So the first value is BE/B Tech. This is the first value. After this, I wanted the second value as to be like BSc, and then I wanted like ME/MK. Next is MSc. I'm just entering few sample data. Okay, don't ask me to enter BA, MCom, BCom, something like that. Do you want it to display them? Use the first value as default. Yes, I wanted to use the first value so that at this pick list will the first value will always going to get displayed. So I'm making this as the first value as a default. I'm not making it required. It's not mentioned, so I'm not making it as a required field. So just click the next button. Make it visible for the profile users. Come on, yeah, and click the next button. After that, save and new. So one more field is actually being created now. The next is the reference ID, and it's an auto number field. So let me select the auto number from here. Click the next button. Give the name as to be the reference ID and display format. Okay, so like display format has been not mentioned. So let me go with like RFID reference ID 000 and the starting number will be 001. Generate the auto number for the existing record. If there is any record inside the object, give a number to that record also, and click the next button. Then make it visible for the profile users. Make it visible. Click the next button. Save and new. So yeah, it will ask you that for generating the auto number for the existing record, it could take some time. I don't have any problem with this. So after reference ID, second last field is the technical skills. Technical skills is again a pick list. So let me select the pick list from here. Click the next button. Give the name as the technical skills. Here again, I wanted to enter the value from my side. These are few of the values. Okay, let me just copy it once and let me just press the enter over there. So the first value is like Apex. After that, I want C to be get displayed. After that, I want C++ to be get displayed. .NET and Java and then Salesforce. Okay, so every new value must be in a new line, whether it's the field is required or it's not required. Display the value alphabetically. Okay, let's do that. Click the next button. Make it visible. Click the next button. And the save and now we have the last fields to be get created. Year of experience, the last field. And it's a number field. So let me select here number formula. Let me select the number from here. to the next button. Year of experience, length is 2. Because 2 मतलब 0 से लेके 99 तक. अब इतना लंबा experience किसी का नहीं होता. Don't make it required. Unique वगैरह कुछ भी नहीं है. Just click the next button. Make it visible for every profile user. Go and next. Now save it. So we have created all these fields. This is the way to create the fields inside. These all fields we have created. Go to the user interface and refresh and see. These all are the fields we have created. Okay. These all are the fields what we have created. So now probably you have understand how to create the fields, custom fields rather, inside any of the object. You could do the same thing with the standard objects also. Even in the standard object, you have this option that you could create the fields inside the standard object also. And right now we are creating this inside this hiring manager and the candidate. Now one thing we have done with this, the fields creation has been done. Fields creation has been done. I mean, we have all those fields what are there, what are there mentioned in the IDD. We have created contact number, current CTC, expected CTC, email, location, notice period, every field. So every field we have created. Every of the field what is required we have created. Now see, one thing I would like you to observe over here is that see how does this actually appears? How does the appearance looks like? If I go to the if I go to the accounts and if I see how does the interface of accounts look like? First of all, I could see that there are few different sections. The fields are actually the fields are being arranged into different sections. Like there is a section called as account information. And within this section, these many fields are there. I could see that there's another section called as address information. And these many fields belongs to this section. Additional information, these many fields are there. Description. So first of all, I could see that the entire page is being divided into different sections. And fields are then arranged into the section. And how does my interface looks like? There's only one section, a default section called as information. And these whole fields are actually being arranged inside a single section. Okay. Second, the point of observation should here is that the fields are arranged inside the two columns. Some fields are over here, some fields are over here, right? The fields are being arranged inside the two columns. There are two columns, there are two partitions, and then some of the fields are here, some of the fields are over here. This is how it looks like. And even if I go to, if I go to the cases, I could see the same thing. Let's go to the case object. Let's press the new button. Same thing. The page is divided into separate sections. Fields are arranged inside the two columns. If I go to the contact, even I could see the same thing. First of all, the pages is being divided into different sections, and then fields are arranged inside the column. So it actually this actually looks attractive. Moreover, it's look a realistic kind of interface. And how does my interface look like? This is how we probably, if we propose this to the client will actually client either will laugh with us or laugh on us, or rather the client is going to reject us, because this is not a very realistic kind of interface. The interfaces in the real time, it doesn't looks like this, obviously. Rather, it's look like this, like this. So what we required over here is that, although we know, how to create the fields, but what we have seen is that whenever we create the fields are arranged in a single column, in a single section, a default section called as information section. On this particular page layout, the fields are being arranged inside this column, single column. Now let's understand how to make this page has to be very attractive. How to make this page has to be the attractive page, or rather, how to arrange the fields inside the two columns. How to insert the new sections inside this particular page. That means what I'm इसके बाद का जो stage है, मुझे वैसे तो अभी कहाँ लेके जाना चाहिए आप? I should take up you to the schema builder to create one more object. एक object बचा है हमारा, hiring manager हो गया, candidate हो गया, but we are left with one of the object called as position object. मैं लेके जाऊंगा वहां रिपोर्ट, I know अब कैसे लेके जाना है. तो मैं एक के बाद एक आपको कैसे ना चीजें आपके सामने इम्पोज कर रहा हूँ. तो अभी हमने देखा कि we have created fields inside the hiring manager, है ना, inside the position also. Because hiring manager पे काफी कम fields है, तो probably you haven't identified this over here. But when I come to the candidate object, now I could have identified this. कि यार कैंडिडेट ठीक से नहीं दिख रहा है. Why? Because on this page I could see that fields are arranged inside a single column in a single section, and it won't look good actually. ऐसा नहीं रहना चाहिए. So let's now understand how to customize this page, how to make this page to be look attractive, how to arrange the fields inside the two columns, how to insert the different sections, and how to bring the fields inside the separate sections, how to bring the fields on the separate sections. Like if I go to any of the object, like in the lead object, I could see that there are different sections. Some of the fields are in the single column, some of the fields are inside the two columns. And fields are some of the fields are inside this section, some of the fields are inside this section, some of the fields are inside this section. So how to do that with this hiring manager and the candidate? This is something called as page layout customization. First of all, this is a page. This is a page. And I wanted to customize this. I wanted to edit it. I wanted to make some changes on the layout of this. This is something called as page layout customization. So after creating the field, let's now understand what does it means by page layout customizations. So first of all, what is a page? What is a page? So page layout kya hota hai? With the help of page layout, you are actually get some of the controls. Like if I go to the candidate object, see, if I go to the candidate object, okay, and if I probably do it like give me the record. So if I open this record, Suresh Tripathi, initially we are landed on this page. Initially we are landed on this page. This page is called as current. This page is called as detail page, or rather detail layout. This page where the information related to Suresh Tripathi has been displayed. This page is called as detail layout, where the record is being displayed and the details of the record is being displayed. So इसको बोलते हैं detail layout. When on there are a few control buttons over here: edit, delete, clone, and share. If I press this edit button, now see, another page is open, and this page is called as edit layout. So layout, page layouts are actually of the two types. Page layouts के दो types होते हैं: edit layout and detail layout. What you can do with the page layout, you can create a record, view the record, edit the record, delete the record. These all are the activities what you can perform with the page layouts. Okay. A page layout में कैसा होता है? See, there are if this is a page, there are two different types of layout: candid edit layout and the detail layout. And I already told you that there are two different types of layout: edit layout and the detail layout. So if I open this record, so I am into the detail layout. Here I am editing the record, so I am into the edit layout. Now, what is the name of this layout? Every page layout name is the name of the object. That means for the account, it's like account layout. For the contact, it's like contact layout. For the position, it's like position layout. For the candidate, it's like candidate layout. Hiring manager layout. The name of the layout is same as the name of your object. So here on the edit layout, you see it's like candidate edit. On the detail, you could see that candidate detail. And you go elsewhere, you go to hiring manager, it's like hiring manager edit. You go to the detail page, of this, just click on this record. It's like hiring manager detail layout. So the page layout, the name of the page is same as the name of the object. If the object name is hiring manager, the layout name will be hiring manager's layout. Candidate layout, author's layout, book layout, reports layout, opportunity, lead layout, like this. The page, the page layout name is the same, the name of your object, not the tab. The name of your object. It's like account layout, not accounts. It's contact layout, not the contacts. Tab name is contact. I'm telling you about the object name. Object name is candidate, not candidates. Candidates is the name of tab. अब देखो कि यहाँ पे layout का नाम क्या है. If I go to the hiring manager, tab name is hiring managers, but the layout name is manager. Singular, not plural, right? Candidate, not candidates. So the layout name is always the same, the name of the object, right? And there are two different kinds of layout: edit layout and the detail layout. This is edit layout, where every fields appear you to be in the form of editable format, right? This is the edit layout. And this is the detail layout, where the value of every field has been displayed. इसमें मैं और समझाने वाला हूँ अभी. Just right now I'm giving you the introduction. So मैं अभी कैसे ना फिर मैं deviate हो जाऊंगा, अभी कहीं अलग चला जाएगा. So इसके ऊपर मैं edit layout और detail layout के ऊपर मैं I'm actually going to discuss few more things on that. But right now I'm stopping it over here and just explaining you how to customize and what are the things what we, with the page layout customizations, what are the things what we are going to learn. Yesterday, I asked you about one question. What are the different ways to make a field a required field, a mandatory? So I told you that there are 4 points in this. To answer this question, there are 4 points. What is the first thing? Whenever the field is being created using standard navigation, on any object, whenever we create a field using the standard navigation, there is a checkbox called as required. And if you click that checkbox, if you click that checkbox, if you select that, the field is going to become a mandatory field. Otherwise, it will not be a mandatory field. So that was the first way. What is the second way? The second way is the page layout customization. Okay. So and there are a few more things what we are going to see with this. So what can be done with the using page layout customization? First of all, we can add the required sections. Different sections we could add. Like I have shown you. If I go to probably the account object, see, if I press the new button on this particular page, see, there are so many different sections out there. Accounts, address information, additional information, description, all these are what? These are the different sections. So with the page layout customization technique, we are going to learn right now, what we could do first thing we could achieve this, we could create the required sections on the page. Then we could specify the tab key orders. What does it mean, tab key? So, if I'm onto this field and if I press the tab button, I'm going, bottom, like this. Now, after I'm into the last field, now it's not going to cover over it, but rather it will come to here, rating पे आएगा, देखो, rating पे आएगा, ऐसा. So this is something called a tab key order. From left to right or to the bottom, where does you want it to go? So we could specify that also. Then we could specify the number of columns on the particular page. It will be 1 or 2. Maximum, see, minimum it's 1, maximum it's 2. Fields are अभी तो हमारे जो fields है, if I could see on the lead object, lead object I have shown you. If you wanted to arrange the fields, in the section there could be 2 columns, there could be 1 column also. In a single column in the fields could be arranged in a 2 columns. The field could be also arranged like this. So fields could also be arranged in a single column or 2 columns. So that is what. So minimum it's 1, and the maximum is 2. And if you ask me, sir, if I wanted to have more than 2 fields, more than 2 columns, so this couldn't possible with the admin. You actually go to, you shifted your project to Visual Force page. On the VF page, on the VF page, you got this facility that you could create more than 2, more than 3, more than 4 columns on per page. But when you are onto the admin module, abhi jitna aap admin pe pad rahe, you only have this control that you could maximum create 2 columns, not more than that. Then we could specify the page layout modes ke jo sections aap create kar rahe ho, that should be visible on the edit and the detail. And we could arrange the fields inside the column. And these are the things what we are going to learn. ऐसा एक नहीं पढ़ूंगा मैं. Most important, we can make the field as mandatory. Using the page layout customization also, we could make a field as to be the mandatory. How to do that? We are going to learn it step by step. We are going to learn everything. And we are going to see the second way to make a field as to be a required field. So this is, when they ask you this in the interview, what are the different ways to make a field a required or mandatory field? So there are altogether 4 different ways for doing that. The first is, at the time of creation of any field, by using the standard navigation, because there is one more technique called as schema build. So at the time of creating a field inside the object using the standard navigation, there is a checkbox required. And if you click that checkbox, the field is going to become a mandatory. The second is by using the page layout customization, also we could make a field as a required, as a mandatory. How to do that? I'm going to show you that also. Please write down the third point now. Third point is by using the validation rules. By using the validations rules, we could make a field as to be a mandatory. I'll show you how to do that also. By using the validations rule could make a field as to be the mandatory field. And point number 4 is by writing apex trigger, APEX, apex triggers, TRIGGERS. By writing the apex trigger also, we could make a field as to be a mandatory. So altogether, there are 4 different ways to make a field as to be the mandatory. The first is, there's one more point. Please write down the point number 5. By using the visual force page, VF page also. By using the VF page, I mean inside the controller also we could make a field mandatory. So please write down this also. By using VF page, visual force page, we can make a field as to be the mandatory. So now there are 5 different ways, and there are 5 different ways to do that. There are 5 different techniques to make a field to be the mandatory field. The point number 1 is required checkbox. The point number 2 is page layout customization. Point number 3 is validation rule. Point number 4 is Apex triggers. And point number 5 is visual force page, VF page. So these are the 5 different ways to make a field to be the mandatory. अब इसमें धीरे-धीरे अभी right now what we are going to learn is like required checkbox concept मैं पढ़ा चुका हूँ. पेज लेआउट कस्टमाइजेशन से कैसे करते हैं अभी बताने वाला हूँ. वैलिडेशन रूल्स भी अभी बताने वाला हूँ. 3 चीज तो यहाँ कवर कर दूंगा मैं. But then about the triggers and the visual force page, this is a part of development. Customization का part है, तो अभी obviously नहीं हो सकता ये. When you started with the development, तब आगे चल के ये 2 टेक्निक्स आपको और सीखने मिलेगी. ठीक है, चलो. So yeah, so so start करते हैं फिर. तो कैसे करना. So navigations, as everything has been written over here. I'll just do directly. आप वहाँ से पढ़ लेना उसको. So I wanted to, let's go to the candidate objects homepage. So this is the homepage. If I click on the new button, I am landed on this edit layout, and I could see that the fields are actually being inside the single column. तो यहाँ पे मुझे सबसे पहले मुझे अलग-अलग sections create करना है, and then in the section I should add the fields. So how to do that? Just go to the object. Just go to any layout. Let be landed on the edit layout. चाहे आप edit layout में आओ, तब भी आपको एडिट लेआउट का नहीं expanderforce.com you have this option edit layout. आप कोई भी लेआउट पे रहो, चाहे आप एडिट लेआउट पे रहो, तब भी ऑप्शन मिलेगा आपको. इवन इफ यू गो टू द डिटेल लेआउट, लेट मी ओपन दिस रिकॉर्ड. सुरेश त्रिपाठी. नाउ आई एम ऑन टू द डिटेल लेआउट. सो आई एम ऑन टू द डिटेल लेआउट, तब भी ऑप्शन मिलेगा. ठीक है. बट इफ आई एम ऑन टू द होम पेज, अभी ध्यान से सुनो, अभी मैं होम पेज पे हूँ. दिस इज माई होम टैब ऑफ द कैंडिडेट. इफ आई नाउ ट्राई टू फाइंड दिस ऑप्शन, तो वो एडिट लेआउट के बजाय एडिट कॉलम्स हो जाता है. Here you won't find that option. तो ये थोड़ा सा ध्यान रखेंगे सभी. जो कुछ लोग पिंग करते बाद में कि सर वो एडिट लेआउट का ऑप्शन ही नहीं हमारी है post.com क्विक एक्सेस में. तो मैं कहता हूँ कि you are on to the home tab. You are on to the home tab. आप टैब के होम पेज पर. तो बोलते हैं हाँ सर बिल्कुल सही. मैं बोलता नहीं, आपको होम पेज पे ये ऑप्शन नहीं मिलेगा. होम पेज पे इट्स लाइक एडिट कॉलम्स. आपको कोई तो भी एक लेआउट में जाना पड़ेगा. इधर यू गो टू द डिटेल लेआउट. आप डिटेल लेआउट पे एंटर करिए इस तरह से. नाउ यू आर ऑन टू द कैंडिडेट्स डिटेल लेआउट. डिटेल पेज पे हो तो आपको एडिट लेआउट का ऑप्शन मिल जाएगा. और अदर गो टू द एडिट लेआउट. आप एडिट लेआउट पे जाइए. वहां भी अगर आप एक्सपेंड करते यू आल्सो गेट द लेआउट ऑप्शन. तो फॉर एंटरिंग इनटू द लेआउट यू शुड बी ऑन टू द लेआउट. आप होम पेज पे रह के लेआउट पे कैसे जाओगे, है ना. वेरी ऑब्वियसली इफ यू आर ऑन टू द होम पेज यू आर नॉट ऑन टू द लेआउट. पेज लेआउट में आने के लिए पहले लेआउट पे तो आना पड़ेगा. आप यहाँ पर अगर ढूंढोगे तो यू वोंट फाइंड दैट ऑप्शन. सिली सा मिस्टेक है, छोटा सा मिस्टेक है, होना नहीं चाहिए, इसलिए आपको पहले क्लियर कर देना. राइट. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल गो टू एनी लेआउट. अगर आपने रिकॉर्ड क्रिएट किया है तो आप डिटेल पे आओगे. अगर रिकॉर्ड नहीं क्रिएट किया है, अगर इवन यू हैव नॉट क्रिएटेड अ रिकॉर्ड, प्रेसिंग द न्यू बटन यू विल कम टू द एडिट लेआउट. आप एडिट लेआउट पे आ जाओ और वहां से फिर ये लेआउट. ठीक है. एडिट लेआउट के बटन को क्लिक कर, लिंक को क्लिक कर. सो यू आर गोइंग टू लैंड ऑन दिस यूजर इंटरफेस. अब इसको समझो पहले. इसको समझो. यहाँ पे the section, what is this, the section which is visible right now, ये वाला जो section है, this particular section, this is something called as always visible section. This particular section is called as always visible section. Why? See, if I scroll it down, अगर मैं पेज को scroll करता हूँ, देखो पेज भले scroll कर दे रहा हूँ, नीचे की property scroll हो रही, the component is visible everywhere. This is one of the component which is actually visible. Even if you scroll the page a little bit down, the component is visible everywhere. That is why this section is called as always visible section. ठीक है. और ये सेक्शन में आपकी सारी चीजें होती है, सारे बटन, सारी फील्ड, सब कुछ जो आपने क्रिएट कर रखा है. आइए अब सेक्शंस कैसे ऐड करना, सब चीजें सिखाता हूँ. A little bit scroll it down so that you come to the detail layout. आप डिटेल लेआउट पे आ जाए, वहां तक आप स्क्रॉल करो. ठीक है. डिटेल लेआउट पे आप आ जाए. फिलहाल दिए दो सारे बटन है. एडिट, डिलीट, क्लोन, ये सारे बटन अभी फिलहाल अवेलेबल हैं, यू कुड ऐड देम, तो फिलहाल अपने को उतने नहीं चाहिए. आई जस्ट वांटेड टू, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ये है मेरा सेक्शन, दिस इज हाउ डज इट लुक्स लाइक. लेट मी शो दैट. कैंडिडेट ऑब्जेक्ट्स के लेआउट पे ले चलता हूँ आपको पहले. दिस इज हाउ डज इट लुक्स लाइक. ये जैसा भी दिख रहा है ना, सारी फील्ड्स एक ही इसमें है, वैसे मैं यहाँ पे देख सकता हूँ कि ऑल ऑफ द फील्ड्स दैट आर इनटू द सिंगल, ऑल ऑफ द फील्ड्स आर अरेंज इनसाइड द सिंगल सेक्शन. सारी की सारी फील्ड्स जो है मेरी वो सिंगल सेक्शन में अवेलेबल है. नेम ऑफ द सेक्शन इज इंफॉर्मेशन सेक्शन. इंफॉर्मेशन सेक्शन, ठीक है. तो लेट मी फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ऐड अ सेक्शन. पहले तो मैं एक सेक्शन ऐड कर लेता हूँ. सेक्शन ऐड करने के लिए हियर यू कुड सी इज अ बटन सेक्शन, एंड एज सून एज यू पुट योर कर्सर, होगा अभी कर्सर ऐसा यहाँ पर जैसी करते इट बिकम्स ड्रैगेबल, becomes draggable, it becomes draggable. So let's add the section below to information section. Information section के नीचे में देखो ये ग्रीन लाइन को आइडेंटिफाई करो. ग्रीन लाइन ऊपर, ये इंफॉर्मेशन सेक्शन के ऊपर आ गया. पहले सेक्शन के ऊपर डालना, नो आई वांटेड उस सेक्शन से नीचे. मैं जैसे हल्का सा नीचे लाता हूँ, देखो आपकी खुद खुद ब खुद दिख रहा है कि ये नीचे आ गया. जस्ट ड्रॉप इट. तो पूछ रहा है अभी सेक्शन का नाम क्या दूंगा आप, इस सेक्शन का नाम क्या. सो let's give this as the additional, additional, ADDITION, additional information section. Okay, let's give this as a name, additional information section. Do you wanted to display this section on detail और edit दोनों पे दिखाना है? तो फिलहाल मैं दोनों पे सिलेक्ट करता हूँ. मैं दूसरे ऑब्जेक्ट पे दिखाऊंगा आपकी दूसरे. अभी मैं दोनों को सिलेक्ट कर रहा हूँ कि आई जस्ट वांटेड टू डिस्प्ले दिस सेक्शन एवरीवेयर ऑन द डिटेल पेज, इवन ऑन द एडिट पेज आल्सो. कितने कॉलम चाहिए? एक कॉलम, दो कॉलम चाहिए. टैब की कैसा चाहिए, मतलब लेफ्ट टू राइट चाहिए या टॉप टू बॉटम? हम मेकिंग टॉप टू बॉटम. ऐसे प्रेस नीचे हो जाए फिर उसके बाद इधर चाहिए, एंड लेट मी प्रेस. So one more section has been, one more section has been additional information section. अब यहाँ से कुछ फील्ड उठा के मेरे को वहां डाल. एडिशनल इंफॉर्मेशन सेक्शन में जैसे कि लेट मी एंटर दिस लोकेशन एंड देन टेक्निकल स्किल्स में यहाँ पे ड्रैग कर रहा हूँ ना. इन द सेकंड कॉलम आई एम ड्रैगिंग दिस क्वालिफिकेशन एंड देन प्रोबेबली notice period. ये मैंने यहाँ पे ऐड कर दिया ना. आई एक्चुअली एडेड ओवर हियर. लेट मी ट्राई टू सेव दिस फर्स्ट. इसको सेव करता हूँ इतना, और ये देखो अभी कैसा दिख रहा है ना. इट एक्चुअली लुक्स लाइक दिस. पहले प्रीवियसली इट वाज लाइक दिस, प्रीवियसली इट वाज लाइक दिस, नाउ इट्स लुक लाइक दैट. ऐसा दिख रहा है यार. तो इसमें मैं देख सकता हूँ कि लोकेशन भी एक पिक लिस्ट है, क्वालिफिकेशन भी एक पिक लिस्ट के नीचे पिक लिस्ट जनरली नहीं होना चाहिए. ये दोनों भी है, तो ये एक्चुअली सही नहीं है ना. इट्स नॉट. I'm making some changes over here. Edit layout. Once again, go to edit layout. Email ID, PAN number. Let me introduce one more section below to this. Skills and qualifications. और skills में technical skills, qualification I'm putting it over here. Contact number here, passport, additional information में passport number रख देता हूँ. Then email ID, current CTC and expected CTC. Passport number I'm checking to. Year of information, experience भी यहाँ पे, reference ID, contact number. Right. चलो अब इसको एक बार सेव करके देखता हूँ कि how does this interface actually looks like. Candidate name, email ID, contact number, location, current CTC, पैन नंबर, इसमें से कोई एक फील्ड यहाँ ला लेनी चाहिए ना, ईयर ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस को मैं यहाँ लेके आ जाता हूँ. सो लेट मी वंस अगेन कस्टमाइज दिस. It's a trial and error, something like that. Just bring it over here. Now let me save this and see how does it looks like. So current CTC, expected CTC. Current CTC के ठीक सामने में expected CTC रहे, तो I think it should look good. तो एक और changes कर लेता हूँ. Once again go to this and expand this. नोटिस पीरियड को नीचे ला लीजिए, एक्सपेक्टेड CTC इसके ठीक सामने रहे तो ज्यादा अच्छा दिखेगा. एंड सेव इट. So like candidate name, email ID, owner, contact number, location, PAN number, current CTC, expected CTC and the notice period, passport number, year of the experience. And skills में technical skills and the qualification. Now I think it's look good. I know this actually looks good. ठीक है, तो ये काफी सही दिख रहा है ना. Let's now customize the hiring managers also. So if I go to the hiring manager, if I click this new button, I could see that fields are arranged inside a single column. Let's make this customization over here also. So let's expand the force.com quick access menu and click on the edit layout. So you click on the edit layout, you see that the fields information section में मैं sections introduce नहीं करता यहाँ पे because 4-5 ही fields हैं, बस उनको 2 columns में arrange कर देता हूँ. जैसे location को यहाँ लेके आ जाता हूँ और even the contact number I should bring it. Contact number को उसके ऊपर रखो. Let me now save this and see how does it looks like. I think ये ठीक है, कोई problem नहीं. This looks good, you know, this looks good. So HR name, contact number, email ID and the location. ठीक है. Okay, so this was, you know, this was the customizations related to page layout. अभी तक आपने क्या सीखा? First thing, how to add the required section over, how to specify the tab key over. Why so? Because see, in the candidate, you know, if I press this new button और मेरा टैब अभी यहाँ पर, as soon as I press the tab, मैं टॉप टू बॉटम ले लेगा, फिर यहाँ पर आएगा, फिर यहाँ पर, फिर इसमें आएगा, फिर यहाँ पर आएगा, फिर यहाँ पर आएगा, अब यहाँ चला जाएगा, अब यहाँ पर आएगा. दिस इज द टैब की ऑर्डर. हियर आल्सो, यू नो, हियर आल्सो मैंने सिलेक्ट नहीं करा, बट द डिफॉल्ट टैब की ऑर्डर हैज बीन, या टॉप टू बॉटम आया. ठीक है, टॉप टू बॉटम. आई कुड चेंज दैट, यू नो, व्हेन आई वांट आई कुड चेंज दैट. एडिट लेआउट. ठीक है, यू कुड चेंज इट. सो नो प्रॉब्लम इन दैट. यू नो, आप इसको चेंज कर सकते हो कभी भी आके. व्हेनेवर यू वांट यू कैन जस्ट यू नो एडिट दिस. ये आप कर सकते हो. ठीक है, every time whenever you wanted to make some changes, just go here and press this edit layout. चलो, टैब की ऑर्डर हो गया. Then we can specify the number of the columns आपके. Then ये columns आपके कहाँ डिस्प्ले होने चाहिए, edit या detail. देखो अभी right now I, you know, for these two what I have selected, अभी मैं अगर new button press करता हूँ, तो I am onto the edit layout. I am onto the edit layout. Edit में मेरे को ये सारे आपके नए sections डिस्प्ले हो रहे हैं. Additional information section and the skills and qualification. These are displayed on the edit layout. ठीक है. Now let me go to the detail page. तो अगर मैं ये सुरेश त्रिपाठी का रिकॉर्ड ओपन करता हूँ, now I am to the detail layout. Detail layout पे भी मेरे को ये sections डिस्प्ले हो रहे हैं. ठीक है, ये हम हटा सकते हैं, ये हम अपने मन से कंट्रोल कर सकते हैं. For example, let me show you with the accounts. Accounts में अगर आप जाते हो ना, you open any account, work in corporation. तो अब आप देखो, आप डिटेल लेआउट पे, जैसे आप यहाँ पर भी आप कहाँ पर हो, डिटेल लेआउट. तो डिटेल लेआउट में यहाँ पर आपको सेक्शंस नजर आ रहे हैं. आप अकाउंट की केस में देखो, यहाँ पे सेक्शंस नजर नहीं आ रहे. ठीक है, ये पूरा का पूरा एक ही इसमें. तो आप चाहें तो ऐसा भी कर सकते हो. अभी मैंने यहाँ पे डिटेल लेआउट पे सेक्शन दिखाया. जैसे अभी आप न्यू बटन या एडिट लेआउट पे जाओगे, एडिट लेआउट पे आपको सेक्शंस आर देयर ना, सेक्शंस आर देयर. अगर आप ऐसा इंटरफेस डिजाइन करना चाहते हो कि एडिट लेआउट पे, यू नो, इफ आई एम ऑन टू द एडिट लेआउट, द सेक्शन शुड बी विजिबल. लेकिन अगर मैं डिटेल लेआउट पे रहता हूँ, तो मेरे को सारा इन्फॉर्मेशन एक ही जगह दिखना चाहिए, एक ही इसमें दिखना चाहिए. तो यू कैन डू दैट ऑल्सो. अभी मैंने ऐसा किया. लेट मी मेक सम चेंजेस. एडिट लेआउट. ठीक है, सो यू नो आई एम मेकिंग सम चेंजेस ओवर हियर. यहाँ पे चेंजेस करने हैं तो यहाँ. नाउ आई जस्ट वांटेड टू डिस्प्ले दिस सेक्शन ऑन दी एडिट लेआउट. तो एडिट लेआउट पे दिखाता हूँ, डिटेल लेआउट से हटा देता हूँ. ओके, कौन सा? एडिशनल इन्फॉर्मेशन सेक्शन. स्किल्स एंड क्वालिफिकेशन पे डबल क्लिक करता हूँ, एडिट पे दिखाता हूँ, डिटेल से हटा देता हूँ एंड जस्ट प्रेस ओके, क्लिक द सेव बटन. अब देखो, आपका डिटेल लेआउट से सारे सेक्शन हट गए, सारा का सारा रिकॉर्ड एक ही जगह जमा होकर दिखा है. आप एडिट बटन प्रेस करोगे तो आपको सेक्शन नजर आएंगे. तो दिस इज द थिंग कि आप सेक्शंस को कहाँ डिस्प्ले करवाना चाहते हो, एडिट लेआउट पे या डिटेल पेज पे या एडिट पेज पे, जो भी. फील्ड्स को कैसे अरेंज करना कॉलम्स में, वो आपने सीख लिया. एक कॉलम, एक सेक्शन से दूसरे सेक्शन फील्ड्स कैसे लेके जाना, वो भी आपने देखा. जस्ट ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप है. ठीक है। अननेसेसरी फील्ड्स कैसे रिमूव करना, ये रिक्वायर्ड का मैं बताऊंगा, कल बताऊंगा। अननेसेसरी फील्ड्स कैसे रिमूव करना वो भी बता रहा हूँ, अभी बता रहा हूँ आपको। एडिट लेआउट, देयर आर फ्यू फील्ड्स दैट आर एडिशनली प्रेजेंट ओवर हियर, कुछ फील्ड जो एडिशनली प्रेजेंट है। ठीक है, अगर कोई बाय द वे कोई फील्ड्स है जो एडिशनली प्रेजेंट है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल रिलेटेड लिस्ट में जाता हूँ तो ओपन एक्टिविटीज, एक्टिविटी हिस्ट्रीज, नोट्स एंड अटैचमेंट, अगर ये एडिशनली प्रेजेंट है, आप इसको हटाना चाहते हो, जस्ट प्रेस द दिस माइनस बटन, हट गया। एक्टिविटी हिस्ट्री माइनस बटन, नोट्स एंड अटैचमेंट माइनस बटन, हट गया। इफ यू वांटेड टू ब्रिंग देम बैक, गो टू रिलेटेड लिस्ट, एक्टिविटी हिस्ट्री, जस्ट ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप इट। ठीक है, उसके बाद में नोट्स एंड अटैचमेंट, जस्ट ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप इट। ओपन एक्टिविटीज, जस्ट ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप, लाइक दिस। सो आप जितना, आप जब चाहे उसको हटा सकते हो, जब चाहे ला सकते हो। ठीक है, तो दिस इज ऑल्सो व्हाट यू कैन डू। लेट मी सेव दिस। We can add the required fields, आप जितनी भी चाहे उतनी fields ऐड कर सकते हो। अरेंज द सेक्शंस इन द रिक्वायर्ड ऑर्डर, ऊपर नीचे कर सकते हो। और रिलेटेड लिस्ट जो अभी मैंने आपको बताया, तो ना आप ये सब कर सकते हो। अब इसमें एक ही चीज बचती है, हाउ टू मेक अ फील्ड एज टू बी द रिक्वायर्ड एंड द मैंडेटरी, सो दैट वी आर गोइंग टू कवर इट बाय टुमारो। कल इसको कवर करते हैं। और इसके साथ ही जब ये हो गया, तो कल फिर हम लोग स्टार्ट करेंगे कि हाउ विद द हेल्प ऑफ स्कीमा बिल्डर, with the help of schema builder, how you could create an object, how you could create the fields, so, and arrange the fields also. तो अभी एक ऑब्जेक्ट बचा है अपना, दैट इज द पोजीशन ऑब्जेक्ट। पोजीशन ऑब्जेक्ट along with the fields, all these fields ये हमको क्रिएट करना है। By tomorrow we are going to cover this with the help of schema builder, और यहाँ पे हम लोग pros and cons भी डिस्कस करने वाले हैं। What are the advantages with this technique, schema builder, and then what are the disadvantages also, ये भी कल हम डिस्कस करेंगे। Okay, so by today this is the only assignment for you। अभी जितना पढ़ाया मैंने, अभी जितना हुआ है, इसको कवर करो। स्टॉप द रिकॉर्डिंग।